Look at that sky. Isn't it nice to have some sunshine? Well, today we're going to talk about asparagus and your springtime care of it. And the first tip I'm going to say is make sure you keep it free of weeds, because look at the rest of my asparagus bed. That's not doing so well. Now, if you watch the channel, you will know that I've been in and out of hospital quite a lot since September. Just getting back on my feet. So that's the reason I haven't maintained this, and I wasn't in any frame of mind to say to Nick, please go and look at the asparagus, or even remember that. So this is why it's in the state it's in, but asparagus doesn't care for your excuses, and if it's left to get covered in weeds, it's not going to like it. So here we are, it's the 7th of February, and before it starts setting its shoots for this year, I'm going to make sure that it's in the best possible condition that it can be. So I'm clearing out the weeds, and what I should have done in about October is cut these down to about 3 inches 5 centimeters. This is the old dead asparagus. I've left them in for now so I can see where they are within the weeds, and I'm going to just clear them all first so I can still see where the crowns are, and then we'll deal with that. Now, fortunately, there are some weeds in there. Creeping buttercup is the main pest. The grass is really just long grass that's grown up from the sides. Now, this is something we're going to have to address, because as you can see, there's a grass path there between us and our neighbours, and then we have grass here around on our side of the allotments. But what we will be looking to do is put some more wood chip paths when we get the wood chip here. So we are on a list, so when local tree surgeons need to dump off their wood chips, we are a place for them. So as soon as we get those, we will be sorting this out to make sure that there is a good covering so that the grass isn't close by. But every time we cut the path or around this, obviously grass seeds go over, weed seeds go over, so this is something we do need to bear in mind. So without further ado, I'm going to weed this strip and then we'll come on to the next bit. There we go. I've done most of it and I've run out of oomph, so we've got up to just the other side level with this bed there. Pulled, what I just could grab of the grass from the back bit, but I'm just going to finish off these so you can see what to do with these. So I've made sure all the creeping buttercup is out. Some of them you can see, here we are, look, you can see some of the roots are showing, so this does want covering up. I was going to give a top dressing of new compost anyway, but first of all, we've got some feed to give it, but I'm just going to do a pH test. Most of the time we don't bother with pH, but asparagus does prefer a 6.5 to 7 on the pH scale. So we'll just do a little test. Right, you can buy testing kits, you can buy a little sensor thing that sticks in the soil, but because we do a lot of science, I've got some test tubes. I'm just going to put a bit of soil in there and top it up with water. You are supposed to use distilled water, but I've tested our tap water at home and we are a neutral pH, which is 7, so I'm just going to use that. Now I will need 2 hands, so I'm just going to put some water in there. Okay, there we go. I just put some water in and gave it a shake. I've got my glamorous assistant with me, and I've got these just we use them at home for science, but all litmus paper or indicator strips look the same. I think I've got 2 there. Okay, and there's our chart. We want a 7, so I'm just going to dip this in the water Rose has got the hiccups.
I think that's going to be a 7.
So we'll just... Oh! The wind's getting up now.
Does look like a 7.
Does look like a 7.
We're going to test our blueberries as well.
We'll test our blueberries another day. The blue sky has gone, the wind is getting up. We're going to be wanting to be thinking about going home soon. So yes, I'm pleased with this. So there's nothing that we need to do with this. And this is what I'm going to use. And I'm just going to sprinkle a small handful around the edge of the plant. I'll need 2 hands for that. There we go. And see how I've sprinkled it round. Now I'm going to give a gentle top dressing of compost, and I managed to get hold of some Jack's Magic the other day, so that's good. And the other one I've got up there is something else, but this one I'm leaving that half today, as I said, so I'm just going to top up with the compost as well. I've got Rose doing it for me now. Her back's younger than mine. But let's have a look at the compost, Rose. Show us the compost. Look at that. Beautiful stuff.
Look, it's in the shape of a heart as well.
It is. Nearly Valentine's Day. Lovely. So we're just topping this up, giving it
I've got to cover all the
good
protein.
mulch. Yeah. Right, that is that done. And we've just done up to here. And lastly, we're going to put some straw mulch round. Now do shop about. What did we pay for this one? $5.99. We have 2 garden centres. We have one near us, and the one that's nearest to us, they stopped doing, well, they said they stopped doing straw, but they have an aquatic centre there, and they had barley straw in there, and it was $16.99 for a bag half the size of that. So much for saving petrol. So we went on to a different garden centre and managed to get this one for $5.99. So we're using straw. You can use leaf mulch. You don't want to use anything heavy like a wood chip, because the asparagus tips need to push up through it. So I'm going to now cut these down because we can see where they are. Rose, would you like to do this? Would you like to cut these down?
The asparagus, yeah.
So you want to do it
The
just about there. Okay. There we go.
flower crown. Then
Yeah.
in the crowns.
Okay, and we take the bits off. That's it. Now, as I said before, these really should have been done in October. There we go. We'll come back when she's finished all of those. Right, you can see Rose has made a start on this. Now, the compost was dry, so I mean, I think it's going to rain anyway. We have been having heavy rainfalls despite our blue sky. So what we're going to do is I'm going to water it on top of the straw, because the water will help weigh the straw down and it shouldn't be blowing over everybody else's plot then. And there we are. That's the last bit, just watering this down. And as you can probably tell from the start of the video to the end of the video, there's it's darkened down quite a bit, so I think the rain will help as well. Go and get a little bit more, darling, just last little bit. So I hope this has helped some of you. This is a follow-up to our no-dig, how to no-dig asparagus video. So at the beginning of the video it was how not to do it, but there we go. Now we're just going to wait for the crowns to come up this spring, keep them well watered, and about every 3 years test your soil pH. But you want to fertilise with a grow more or a bloodfish and bone at the beginning of the year around spring, and then give it a mulch. If you've still got mulch on from last year, you want to just remove the mulch and then give it a feed, like if you've got the straw or leaf mulch. Take that off, put some fertiliser down, and then replace the mulch. Right, that's all from us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye bye.